Okay, so let's just be real for a second. It's February. You literally cannot walk into a store, any store, or even open your browser without this explosion of red and pink.
It's everywhere. It's the what you might call the industrial complex of affection.
That's it. Chocolates, these giant teddy bears that, I mean, who has room for those?
Yeah.
Overpriced roses. The world is just screaming one thing at us. Go find love. Go find it out there.
It's a fascinating cultural ritual, isn't it? This massive kind of synchronized pressure to validate ourselves through someone else.
Right.
We're taught that our other half is, walking around somewhere, and until we find them, we're just not complete.
Exactly. And look, I'm not trying to be a cynic. Oh, okay, maybe a little bit. But the anxiety is real. If you're single, you feel like you're missing out.
And if you're in a relationship, you're stressed about making it perfect.
Yes. But what really grabbed me about the research we're digging into today is that it takes this whole Valentine idea and just completely flips it on its head. It argues that we're all ignoring the one relationship that truly actually matters. The one partner who's been with us since the womb, and will be there right until the very end.
And that is the whole pivot point. We spend, decades searching for a soulmate. But any relationship really is transient by nature.
Sure.
People change, they move, they fall out of love, or, death separates us. But this philosophy, it introduces this concept of the constant companion, the one partner that is the baseline for every single thing you will ever experience.
We're talking about the body, of course, but not in the way we usually think about it, like, oh, I need to lose 5 pounds.
Right, not that.
The material we're looking at frames the body as Sharir Dev, body god, which I have to be honest, it sounded a little narcissistic to me at first. Like, are we supposed to worship our own abs?
I can totally see why you think that. But it's actually the complete opposite of vanity. Vanity is all about the surface. Sharir Dev is about recognizing the body as this divine instrument. So think of it this way. You are the soul, the consciousness. You want to experience love. You need the body. Want to feel a breeze. You need skin.
You want to reach enlightenment.
You still need the physical brain and nervous system to even process that.
So without the hardware, the software just can't run.
Precisely. The body isn't just a box, it's the vehicle. And that brings us to what I think is maybe the most helpful analogy in this whole thing, the borrowed car.
Yeah, I really wanted to get into this because it just reframed my entire week. So the analogy is like, imagine a friend lends you a car.
Okay.
But not just any car, not my beat-up sedan. They lend you like a vintage mint-condition Ferrari, something irreplaceable.
Something priceless.
And they say, here are the keys. I need this back in perfect condition. How do you drive that car?
Oh, with white knuckles. You are hyper-aware of every single pothole. You are definitely not eating a sloppy chili burger in the front seat.
No way.
You treat it with reverence because you know 2 things. 1, it's incredibly valuable, and 2, it's not actually yours.
Right. If I scratch my own car, I'm like, adds character.
Yeah.
If I scratch that Ferrari, I'm having a full-blown panic attack.
And that is the paradox this philosophy points to. We treat a borrowed piece of metal with that much respect, but our bodies, this unbelievably complex biological machine lent to us by the divine or nature, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, how do we treat that? We drive it like we stole it. We pour sugar and junk into the tank. We grind the gears by not sleeping.
We ignore all the check engine lights, the aches, the fatigue, until there's smoke pouring out from under the hood.
And then we act surprised when it breaks down.
Yes. The argument is that the body is a trust. You're the trustee and you have to manage this asset. And that gets into a crucial distinction, the difference between Prakriti and Purusha.
Okay, let's unpack those. They sound a little heavy. Prakriti is basically nature or matter, the physical stuff.
Exactly. And Purusha is the soul, the consciousness. Think of it as the driver versus the car. When you look in the mirror, who do you see?
I see. Me. My face, my eyes.
But the philosophy argues that's a case of mistaken identity. You're looking at the car. The real you, the Purusha, the observer, the driver, is actually invisible. We just get so identified with the machinery.
Hold on. It's easy to say, I am not the body. But if I stub my toe, I feel the pain. It doesn't feel like the car has a dent.
That's a great point. And it's not about dissociation. It's about accurate diagnosis. Think about the language we use. When you get the flu, you say, I am sick.
Right, because I feel awful.
But technically, the driver, your consciousness is perfectly fine. The driver isn't sneezing. The vehicle is malfunctioning. So if we shift our thinking from I am sick to my body is struggling right now and I need to fix it, it changes the dynamic. It moves from victimhood to responsibility.
That's a subtle shift, but it's a big one. If I am sick, I just want to give up. If my vehicle is broken, my job is to get it to the mechanic because I have places to go.
Exactly, and that's why this matters. If the car breaks down, the driver is stranded. The soul can't fulfill its purpose if the biology collapses.
Which brings us to the consequences of being a bad driver, the cost of neglect. There's this famous Indian saying from the research, roti, kapta, or makan.
Food, clothing, and shelter. The classic hierarchy of needs.
Right, but I always thought it was just a list. Like first you eat, then you get dressed, then you find a house.
It's much deeper. It's a scientific sequence. Why is roti food first? It's not just about hunger. It symbolizes the health needed to even digest the food. It's the integrity of the body itself.
Okay, so if you don't have health,
Then the kapta status and makai and wealth are completely useless. You could be in a 50-room mansion wearing the most expensive suit, but if your body is in agony, that mansion is just a prison.
that reminds me of the story about Rakesh Hunwala that was in the notes. For anyone who doesn't know, he was a legend in finance.
The big bull of the Indian stock market, a master of asset management. This man was worth billions.
He knew how to grow wealth better than anyone. But near the end of his life, his health was really, really bad. And in one of his last interviews, he said something that should just stop you in your tracks.
He said his worst investment was his health.
Just think about the weight of that. A man who had everything the world tells you to want: money, fame, respect. And he realized that because he neglected his inner Valentine, the Sharir Dev,
All of it was hollow.
it's the ultimate irony, right? We spend our health to get wealth and then spend our wealth trying to get our health back.
And it is a terrible exchange rate. If the body gets upset and the texts use this poetic language of the body as a partner that can be offended, you can't just bribe it back. You can't pay your liver to fix itself.
So we know the stakes are high, but here's the problem we all face. Knowing isn't the same as doing. We know we should sleep 8 hours. We know sugar is bad. We do it anyway. Why?
This is where we get into the mechanics of will. We tell ourselves this very comforting lie: I'll change slowly.
The I'll start on Monday myth.
Exactly. But the philosophy just destroys that with the fire analogy. If you put your hand on a hot stove, do you say, I'll remove my hand gradually over the next few weeks?
No, you yank it back. Instantly.
Because the damage is happening now. The argument is that bad habits, smoking, junk food, chronic stress, they are fire. They're actively burning the Sharir Dev. So the idea of weaning off poison is a delusion.
It has to be immediate.
The danger is immediate.
But the mind is such a tricky opponent. The notes lay out this chain of command that I found really useful. The soul, the mind, and the body.
Think of it like a company. The soul is the CEO. It has the vision. The body is the employee. It just does what it's told.
And the mind is the middle manager.
Exactly. And we all know what happens with a bad middle manager. The CEO says, we need to get healthy. And the manager says, you got it, boss, but then orders pizza for everyone. The body takes its orders from the mind.
So why is a mind so bad at its job? Why does it keep ordering the pizza?
Because of chitta.
Chitta. Okay, what is that exactly? Is it just memory?
It's memory, but it's deeper. Think of Cheetah like the auto-complete history in your browser. Every single time you've done something, every cigarette, every sugar binge, it leaves an impression, a file, in the Cheetah.
So when I get stressed, my Cheetah just autofills eat chocolate, because that's what I've done the last 500 times.
Precisely. It's automatic. The mind grabs that file and sends the order before the soul, the CEO, even has a chance to object. We're running on old programming.
That's kind of terrifying. It sounds like we don't have free will, we just have cached will.
Yeah.
So how do we clear the cache?
It's a battle of signal strength. The soul has to consistently, and I mean consistently, send new positive signals to the mind to override those old files. You have to flood the system until a new pattern gets recorded.
So it's pure repetition. You have to manually type in the new website enough times until autocomplete starts suggesting the healthy one.
Yes. And the mind is ultimately a loyal servant. Once you retrain it, it will execute the good habits just as automatically as it did the bad ones, but it requires the soul to actually step up and be the boss.
And if that isn't enough motivation, the philosophy raises the stakes even higher. We're not just talking about this life anymore. We're talking about the prenatal promise. This part honestly gave me chills.
It's a heavy concept. The idea is that before birth, in the womb, the soul makes a kind of covenant with the divine. It promises, if you give me a human body, this rare, incredible vehicle, I will use this life to find truth.
So we basically signed a contract. I'll take this rental car, and I will drive it to the destination of enlightenment.
And the body is the only instrument that can make that journey. You can't meditate without a brain or do service without hands. So wasting the body isn't just a personal failing, it's a breach of contract.
And with any contract, there are penalties. The notes talk about a cosmic register.
The ledger of karma. And the warning is stark. It suggests the human form is a privilege, not a right. If you're given a luxury vehicle and you trash it, the rental agency isn't giving you another Ferrari next time.
You get downgraded.
You might not even get a car. The implication is, if we abuse the human form, there's no guarantee we get a human birth next time.
Wow. That is a massive perspective shift. It changes, I should eat a salad to look good, to I need to maintain this vessel because my internal spiritual journey depends on it.
It elevates health to a spiritual duty. It's the foundation of your entire spiritual practice.
So bringing this all back down to earth and back to Valentine's Day, we started with finding love on the outside.
And we've arrived at the realization that the first act of love has to be internal.
The source material is very specific about the gifts we should be giving this Valentine. And no, it's not chocolate.
No. The gifts are things like yoga, pranayama, or breath work. Nutritious food, rest. These are the love languages of the body. When you do yoga, you're essentially hugging your internal organs. You're telling the Shuri Dev, I see you, I value you.
It's practical devotion. It's not just thinking holy thoughts. It's about what you actually put on your fork.
It's every micro decision. Every time you choose water over soda, you are fulfilling that prenatal promise.
And honestly, that feels a lot more empowering than waiting for someone to buy me flowers. I can buy my own broccoli.
And your liver will appreciate that broccoli a lot more than the flowers.
So here's the thought we want to leave you with today. We've used this rental car analogy a lot. Imagine that tonight you have to hand the keys back. The divine landlord shows up and says, okay, inspection time.
Would you be proud of the vehicle's condition, or would you be, trying to hide the scratches and the junk in the back seat?
If you truly viewed your body right now, today, not as you, but as a high-end loaned asset you are responsible for, how would that change what you decide to eat for dinner tonight?
It turns a meal into an offering.
Something to chew on. Happy Valentine's Day to your Sharir Dev. Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive.
Drive safely.